A lot of people join Break Into CRE Academy after looking for a job in commercial real estate and finding the process more difficult than they had hoped. The real estate industry has become more and more institutionalized over the last decade, which has attracted some of the best and brightest finance talent that previously would have only targeted investment banking or general private equity roles, which has made the industry progressively more competitive every single year. And with so many people vying for just a handful of opportunities, it's become harder and harder to stand out in the resume stack, and many people end up just getting stuck in the application phase and not being able to progress past this point. However, there are a few big things that you can do to improve your chances of landing interviews and moving past this stage and into the rest of the interview process that I've personally seen work over and over again. And in this video, in case you're struggling to get past this stage of the game, to help you finally make the leap and break through to that interview round, I want to walk through 3 of the most impactful things that you can do to stack the odds in your favor when applying for jobs in the industry that I've seen take people from no job prospects at all to multiple job offers in just a few months, and how you can apply each of these action items to your own career scenario. So applying for jobs is by default a pretty frustrating process, but much more frustrating when it's taking up all of your time and getting you nowhere. Especially when you're applying for roles at bigger companies, the application process itself can be extremely tedious and time consuming. And when you throw a custom cover letter in the mix for every single position that you apply for, the job application process itself can sometimes feel like it's turning into a second full-time job. So to help prevent you from having to go through this process dozens or even hundreds of times, only for your resume to end up in a black hole and never to hear back from the employer again, in this video, let's break down 3 things that you can start doing today to maximize your chances of landing more interviews at the kinds of real estate shops that you want to work for most. So point number 1 in this list is going to come as no surprise to people who regularly watch this channel, and this is to build your technical knowledge and skill sets, specifically in Excel, real estate finance, and potentially even Argus. When you're just starting out in commercial real estate, your exposure to the industry is going to be pretty limited by default, and you're probably not going to have the contacts, experience, or the perspective necessary in order to do many or any revenue generating activities for the firm. However, where you can add value as a young professional, even with very limited experience in the business, is by making the analysis work behind those revenue generating activities the company is taking on really a formality, and by being someone the company can trust to perform work quickly and accurately time and time again. And where this ties into making it to the interview process to progress past the application phase, the company that you're applying for needs to see you as someone who can be trusted with the financial analysis of the firm and someone who has mastered the basics of real estate finance and Excel. And to showcase yourself as someone who falls into this category, one of the biggest things that you can do is to pursue certifications and courses that are specifically tailored towards real estate financial modeling and analysis that prove that you've learned the things you'll need to know to be successful on the job. Break Into CRE coursework like the Real Estate Financial Modeling Bootcamp, the Real Estate Pro Forma and Development Modeling Masterclasses, and the Real Estate Equity Waterfall Modeling Masterclass are all great examples of courses that showcase hard skills that employers will be looking for and are ways that you can prove your understanding of the tasks you'll be tackling on a day-to-day basis on paper. Other certifications I often recommend are the Argus software certification if you're looking to land at a company that focuses on office, retail, or industrial properties, and the REFM Excel for Real Estate exams, which are well known and widely recognized by some of the top private equity and brokerage firms in the industry. These courses and certifications and similar types of certification programs and educational resources can all be used to help you showcase to an employer that you've taken the time and initiative necessary to learn the technical skill sets you'll need to succeed in the role, and these things can all make an employer more likely to consider you for the job and more likely to call you for an interview as a result. Now, even if you do have the skill sets to be successful in a role, you also need to be able to convey those skill sets on paper, which leads me to point number 2 on this list, which is to craft your resume with an intentional narrative that shows you as a clear and natural fit for the jobs that you're applying for. One of the biggest resume mistakes I see from Academy members is making a resume too generic, especially for those people making a career transition and not taking the time to relate their past experiences to the responsibilities that they would need to take on in the future within a commercial real estate analyst role. A resume should not just be a regurgitation of the degrees you've earned or the on the job responsibilities that you've had, but instead, your resume needs to tell a story around how your experiences have given you the skill sets and perspectives necessary to succeed as a real estate analyst specifically. To put it bluntly, this means that if your real estate resume looks the same as your resume would look when applying for positions in different industries altogether, your chances of landing an interview are going to be relatively slim. Being an expert in HTML and CSS, getting certified in Adobe Illustrator, or winning a national HR award are all impressive skills and accomplishments, but just listing these things out doesn't tell a recruiter or hiring manager anything about your abilities in the things that you'd be doing on a day-to-day basis in a real estate analyst role specifically, and this is often where people get tripped up. Your resume needs to clearly tell the story of how all the work experiences you've had and the education you've pursued has led you to the point where a commercial real estate analyst job just makes perfect sense for you, and your experiences and education up to this point have also made you the perfect fit for the job that you're applying for. I can't stress enough the fact that during the application process, employers care most about what you can do for them, not how much you want the job or how much landing the job would mean for your career. Wasting space on your resume by talking about unrelated skills and abilities just diverts attention away from the things that really do matter, and the more you can relate your work experiences and education directly to what you'd be doing in a real estate analyst role, the more bites you're going to start seeing on your applications, and the more interviews you're going to start to land. Now, having a strong resume and strong technical skill set will get you far, but even with these two things lined up, with how competitive the landscape is right now, a lot of people still can't seem to get their foot in the door for interviews, which leads me to my last and probably most important point on this list, which is to build your network through informational interviews. I'll link another video that goes over informational interviewing in detail in the description, but basically this just involves reaching out to people who are in positions that you'd want to be in the future and setting up a quick phone call, coffee meeting, or lunch meeting to get to know these people and to learn more about their career paths and how they got to where they are today. If you're in college right now or you've recently graduated, your school's alumni database can be a great resource to find contacts to start interviewing, since these people usually voluntarily include themselves in these lists, and these people are also generally open to talking with a student or young professional looking to break into the industry. Even if your school doesn't have a comprehensive list of real estate alumni in your target markets, LinkedIn search can also be a great resource for this and will allow you to filter your search results to include only people who are in the commercial real estate industry, alumni of your college or university, and who work in the city or cities that you're trying to land in. Messaging these people on LinkedIn will likely be a little bit more hit or miss than tapping into an alumni database, since these people aren't necessarily signing up to be contacted by young professionals from their university, but this is still a great resource to identify both people you can connect with and companies you might want to work for in the future. Also, if you're in the industry already, even in a non-finance discipline like architecture, law, or construction management, industry organizations like ULI and NAIOP are also great places to build your network and find job opportunities that might not be widely advertised. Many of these organizations also have specific young leaders groups for professionals under the age of 30 or 35, and these groups tend to put on regular networking events that make the process of meeting new people relatively easy. And as you build these relationships, you can start to get a feel for the companies in your market that you might want to work for, and you can start to build deeper relationships with other industry professionals so that you end up being a familiar face when a job opportunity does open up. Ultimately, to land more interviews in commercial real estate, it comes down to making yourself into the kind of person that you'd want to hire if you ran a commercial real estate firm, being able to show that on paper through tailoring your education and experience towards the roles that you're targeting, and then getting out there and building relationships so that when an opportunity does arise, you are top of mind and stand out from the competition. And if you're looking for more help and guidance around building your technical skill sets, navigating the networking process, or crafting your resume to land more interviews and get past the application phase, make sure to check out our all-in-one membership training platform, Break Into CRE Academy. A membership to the Academy will give you instant access to over 120 hours of video training on real estate financial modeling and analysis. You'll get access to hundreds of practice Excel interview exam questions, sample acquisition case studies, our entire library of pre-built acquisition, development, and waterfall models for multifamily, office, retail, and industrial properties, and you'll also have access to private one-on-one email-based career coaching if you're looking to break into a top real estate private equity, brokerage, or lending shop and want some additional personalized feedback on your own unique career scenario. And if you like this video and want to see more content on this channel on resume and career advice, make sure to hit the like button to let me know, and let me know in the comments if there are any other subjects on the job application or interview process that you'd like to see covered on this channel. As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this helpful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already to see more videos like this every single week, and I'll see you in the next video.